Hey everyone, I'm back. It's me, Sarah, your Christian forgiveness coach, and you're watching Forgive Everyone for Everything Every Day Right Away. And this episode is about despair. So, I wanted to come on and tell you about a life coaching session that I recently had. I was telling my coach about some physical stuff I've been experiencing. I'm in menopause, so I'm going through hot flashes. Now, stay with me. If you don't experience hot flashes, just keep an open mind about how this story might apply to you and maybe some area of your life. So just replace hot flashes with whatever you might be going through. Try that. So, a little bit of backstory. I'm in menopause and I was in premenopause for years, and I've been having hot flashes for pretty much 9 or 10 years every day. And I can find them to be rather disruptive to my sleep, my quality of life, and up until recently, they have been especially bad. And they just felt relentless. And I was tired. And I was just feeling beat down about them. And I was having a hard time just even getting through the day. I was waking up every morning exhausted. So I was describing how they felt to my coach. And I tried to describe like the feeling in my body, right? I said it felt like a black cloud was descending on me, like slowly blocking out all the light. And before I even felt like the actual warmth of the hot flash, like I could just feel it coming, slowly creeping in. And it felt like dark and heavy. And then once this black cloud was fully upon me, then like my skin, my skin would get physically warm and uncomfortable. But my body inside just felt like empty and void and dark. And I could no longer focus on anything but this awful feeling in my body. Just this feeling of emptiness and darkness. And it just felt like despair. So the actual like warmth itself on my skin only lasts a minute or so. But the cloud, as I was calling it, the black cloud, it would approach very slowly and then it would leave slowly. But depending on how focused I was on the cloud, sometimes it would hang around for quite a while, even sometimes until the next actual physical hot flash. So and sometimes it would hang around all day. Like when it was that bad, hanging around all day, it was like everything and everyone was a frustration. And I couldn't find joy in anything. So then she asked me something really, really interesting. She asked, "What is the black cloud here to tell you?" And I answered, "It is here to take away my joy, my hope, and my purpose." And then she asked, "How does that make you feel?" And I said, "Despairing." And I also referred to the black cloud as a problem, that my hot flashes were a problem, and that there was definitely something wrong with me. And of course, the result of all of that thinking was that I just wanted to give up. I didn't care about getting out of bed. I didn't care about taking care of my kids. I didn't care about my husband. Nothing. So I'm also a life coach, and I know thought work, and I know that it's my thoughts that create my feelings. But even though, like, as a coach myself, I still need coaching because we're human. Even though we're coaches, we still have brains. And I couldn't see a way out of this particular situation without getting the help. So here's where it got even more interesting. So we talked about whether or not I wanted to start thinking about the black cloud differently. Could I be curious and fascinated about it? Could I see it as not being a problem? And then from there, could I ask again, what are you here to tell me? And then see what my brain came up with. Could it come up with some other ideas besides the doom and gloom that I was currently experiencing? So, see, if my brain offered me some strategies to allow the black cloud to just be there, and then when I allowed it, that's when my brain started to come up with other ideas like, okay, I could meditate with Jesus whenever I feel it coming. I could shower it with love and light. I was then able to recognize like the mind drama that I was creating in my mind about the black cloud. Like it's just a hot flash. I could choose to just picture it as a biological experience. According to Google, a hot flash is just like blood rushing to the vessels nearest the skin, which may raise the temperature of the skin 5 to 7 degrees, but my core temperature is still the same. Like, that's it. That's just the facts of a hot flash. Everything else about the hot flash was my brain doing what it does, creating drama. So much drama around the hot flash. Like, did you hear it in my story and my description of it? Now, I'm not dissing myself for being dramatic. This is just what our brains do. It's okay. And I've kind of been programming my brain to think this way about my hot flashes for about 9 years now. But if I want to feel better, my coach pointed out, I might want to start thinking about them differently on purpose. Oh, yeah, forgot I could do that. Maybe I could stop calling it the black cloud of despair. Maybe I could change the black cloud into a warm white light. That certainly feels less dramatic and actually a lot nicer. Maybe I could stop seeing it as a problem. And I could certainly ditch the negative self talk that there was something wrong with me, that I'd been having them for so long, that I'd never be healthy and I'd always have them. And then we talked about how I'm going through this whole experience for a very important reason. Like, have you ever noticed how certain emotions take on a momentum of their own? Like, anger does this, right? And despair does this too. When we leave it unchecked, running around unchecked, can really spiral. So I could choose to give up and fall deeper and deeper into that hole of despair. And a lot of times we do that. Or I could see how this experience is for me. I could do the work. I'm going through this so I can learn from it, so I can help others. So I've had at least 50 or more hot flashes since that particular coaching session, and I have not felt despair. I've felt hot, that's for sure. I love winter time because I've had a lot of hot flashes and I can go outside and the temperature is like in the 30s Fahrenheit and it feels so good, right? But it's no longer the black cloud. It's just a hot flash. And I'm learning to welcome it with open arms, treat it with love and acceptance. It is part of me when it's happening, after all. Sure, I sometimes have to rip my coat off, cool off, only to be cold again a few minutes later and put my coat back on. But then I move on from it and I enjoy my day. I was giving the black cloud so much power over my life. And once I changed my mind about it, and I'm not saying that was easy, it took work, it took coaching, but once I changed my mind about it, I felt like I got my life back. Now, maybe that sounds a little dramatic, but I don't care. Clearly, I'm dramatic, and that's okay. So, what is your black cloud? Is there something going on in your life that feels despairing? Maybe it's something physical with your health. Maybe it's a relationship you're struggling with. Maybe it's grief from a loss. What is it trying to tell you? Do you want to think about changing your perspective about the black cloud? Or can you allow it to just be there and accept it with love and understanding? How do you want to think about the black cloud so you can find joy again? So we're human. We're human in a world. So darkness is going to come. It's here. What was done to Jesus is done to us. What Jesus did, though, he does in us. So let the light out, my friends. Let it shine. Done with love. Talk to you next time.